Good morning, cyber traders, and happy Tuesday. One of my favorite days of the week in trading. Yes, we got a lot going on this morning. We didn't have that big of a move in the Dow and the futures. I was looking this morning, but you know what? There's a lot of the stocks that we're trading looking pretty good. We're going to check them out. Also, good to see you all. Busy day today. Also, phase 3 is going to be starting. If everyone, the gold platinum students, you're going to be in the room with me. We're going to be doing some trading for the next 2 days. That's going to be starting at 9:35 this morning. And big day. You know what today is? Today's Tuesday. And we have our podcast that I do this morning. And at 12 o'clock today, we are going to have Benzinga. We have Ryan from Benzinga, and that's going to be fun. We'll post that link up there. We will broadcast it live on all the social media networks. So please make sure you go out there. One other thing, too, before we start going through the watch list, if anybody here has any questions, I know that you guys love to use the Benzinga platform. Can you please email me if you have any questions that you'd like me to ask regarding about the trading and the platform and everything else, because we use it here in our trading floor. All right, now regarding about some of the stocks that are moving, you could see there's a stock right now that we got up posted right here. SOAR is actually moving up pretty nicely. Huge pop. It's up about 36%, but you can see here at 8 o'clock, it was the best move right there. $2.50 all the way to $5 a share. And we're going to see what's going on with the orders. We'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, a lot of stocks moving this morning. What we always like to do before we get into those watch lists, let's talk about what happened yesterday, right? So, yesterday what happened. Monday it was okay. It wasn't great. Me and Josh were trading with you guys. We were looking at some of the stocks out there. It was more of a nickels and dimes day, not really the best day, but there were some stocks that did make some big moves. We had this stock right here. Oops, wrong one. APLD, that's today. APLD was a nice move yesterday. What was nice about this stock right here is that it had a big pop around 9:30, but look, does anyone notice what you see right there? We're going to talk about this in class. Beautiful Fausto flag. Up until 10:30, went right up there. And you know what's so funny? If you go back to the notes, do I still have it here? I think I do, right? I think I have it back here. I got to go way back. Was that in the morning? Yeah. I wish I could do this by date. But when you go to the let me bring this up here. So here's all the notes. I can only go back so far. I wish I could do a search for it. But if anyone was in the room yesterday at 10:30, I said something very key, and I said, I have a funny feeling it's going to break $10. I don't know what it is, but I got this feeling. And literally, it was like 10, and the 10 o'clock was the move, and right there, it was maybe like around 11. And then right around 11, I'm like, this thing is holding it too well. And boom, it broke through that big order. There was a 250,000 share seller out there at $10. And you could see it, stock made a nice little move. Not a huge move, but it did pretty well. I'm putting APLD back on the watch list, APLD. All right. But that was a great bounce crash right there where you say, no, just got close to 10. We saw a big iceberg order. It came back down, did it again. And that is called consolidation. Okay. So for everyone that was here that got it early in the morning, made money, congratulations. Anyone here that woke up late or different parts of the world, maybe your West Coast, and you saw that, you did pretty well on it. 50 cents. I always tell everyone that's not a bad day on 1,000 shares. $10,000 investment. That's, what is that? You're making your $500 a day. I mean, you do that every day. There's your $100,000 salary. It was a really nice trade right there. There were a couple other ones I do want to bring up too that did move pretty well. MODV was another nice one. Big pop right in the middle of the afternoon, 1 o'clock. That stock ran from $2 up to $3. And then obviously started trending down and started making a high and low. And that's when the party was over for that. GDX, gold was doing pretty well. That one did well. CLV, I meant. Silver did pretty well. That had a nice little pop yesterday. So all the metal stocks did pretty well. And then QBTS, and they're moving up again. So the quantum stocks took a nice little hit from 20 down to 15. They're moving again. So put the quantum stocks on your watch list. So those stocks obviously are doing pretty well. You could even see them. A lot of them already showing up on the big percentage gainers and losers list. All right. So that basically is done with what happened yesterday. Not a big list, but there are a lot of stocks that are moving this morning. And let's work off them right now. And let's go work off our top 20. First stock on that list, NIVF. All right, so you can see right here, the stock started around 5 o'clock this morning, but then around 6:30. It's kind of flat right here. It's up about 160%. It's got great volume. What I like about this stock, if you go back and look at this stock, you remember we traded it last year. Went from 125, it ran all the way to 600 and came back down. Stocks was out $4. Stock got destroyed. I don't know, maybe we're getting a dead cat bounce, but it's not. I don't like how it's trending as of at this moment in pre-market because that really hasn't gone anywhere for the first 2 hours. But let's see how she opens up. But she's going to make the watch list. Another stock that's gapped up, it's a farmer stock. It's kind of flat right here. I'm probably going to pass on this one. This one, RSLS. A lot of you remember this stock. We traded this stock right back here on this day. That stock in one day ran from $18 to $70. It got destroyed. Been a really, really fun stock. It's crazy. When you see where the price of these stocks are, you're like, damn, what happened to them? That's why a lot of people like shorting, Remember, how much could a $500 stock go down? 500 points. This one also moved up pretty well too. Oh, by the way, APLS. Let me just bring this up over quick for you, okay? So APLS, big order just got filled. You see the next biggest iceberg order right here, 11. This is only pre-market. That's a lot of shares. 90,000 in pre-market. Market's not open up. You know what happens when the market opens up? That red line becomes looks like a powder blue, really, really light. So that one looks pretty good. AREB just had a huge pop. American Rebel, we traded this stock too before. $1.70, traded $2.50. It's coming crashing down right now, but that doesn't affect me. That doesn't bother me. What I like is basically the volatility on it. This one's up. I don't really like the spread on this one right here. This one looks pretty good. Cheap, level 1 stock, 26%, 10 million shares. This might be good. I'll put this on the B list, but if you're a deer in the headlights, a new trader, that might be up your alley. AGEN, another one. Kind of flat here. Scratch that, scratch that, scratch. All right, we're down to right around, once we break 10% in pre-market, we're going to scratch those out. Losers, we know why MODV is on that loser list, and especially on the big loser, big winner. And they always end up showing up in the big loser. AKPD, forgot that one. You can see it on the losers after having a big run up from yesterday. And that pretty much does it. One of the stocks that's moving that you guys were trading early this morning was SOAR. And SOAR is moving up pretty nicely, but it kind of came up to some iceberg orders right here. We got a ladder effect. You could see it right. You see the ladder effect that came in? Boom, 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 boom. Start pushing it down. Remember, everybody, one thing we teach you at CyberTrade University, we're going to focus a lot of it in class. It's not the left of the chart that affects you. It's the right of the chart, okay? So there you go. SIG, another one, but spread's pretty big, ugly, not really up. Jobby, yes. So Michael's calling that the Jobby, Joby. Now, I did a swing trade on the Jobby, and I got out of it. It had a really big resistance. I kind of chased it. You could see a lot of resistance levels around 9, okay? So Jobby basically all the way down here. Start pushing down. So if Jobby's moving, that means that probably a lot of the other aviation stocks are moving. Archer, I would keep an eye on. It's up a little bit, but you can see that stock took a hit. It's got a lot of support levels. The Archer around $10. HC. I'm just writing it down. And I think there was another one. What was the other one? We had Archer, Jobby, and what was the other one with it? There was another one. Was it? There's one more ETF. Does anybody remember off the top of your head? I'm drawing a blank right now. It wasn't Archer. It was another one. Will come to me. Anyway, The other ones keep an eye on too that making some pretty good moves is the nuclear stocks. RCAT. There you go, Lynn. There you go. Thanks. That's why I love you guys. RCAT's the other one. Not really moving though, so we'll probably scratch that out. All right. Keep an eye on all the nuclear stocks. They're starting to make another move again. So you got SMR, you got OKLO. They all gapped up right now. They're all moving up pretty nice. Only thing did you guys watch my video last week on the nuclear stocks? I got a pretty good response of people asking me questions on it. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, my TikTok, my Instagram, you better be logged into that. I put it on my stories. Just follow me. I know a lot of people don't like certain social media. I know YouTube is at least the less threatening for some of you out there, but make sure you get those alerts. I did a big article on these. I explained them a little bit more. There's the link right there. Post it in the social media. Make sure you subscribe to it. Watch the video I talked about about the nuclear stock. So you got the OKLO and you got the two biggest ones that we trade is that one and the SMR. All right. And you can see everything else is not really doing that much. Palantir, is moving up pretty decent. Looks like it just broke all-time highs right there. And if you can't afford Palantir, remember there's the ETF out there now, which is more cost-effective. Just remember it moves twice as fast. Tesla obviously starting to, listen, we want Tesla because I know a lot of us are out there. I'm actually today going to go buy a new one. Breaking news. Okay. You know what happened? My son came back from college. He had a pickup truck. He had one of those, he had a Colorado. Really wasn't his thing. I got a younger son that's learning how to drive. Lucas, he's 16. I had him drive my Tacoma. And let me tell you, he's like, imagine trying to teach a kid driving a boat in a parking lot. He almost hit every curb. I'm like, you know what? I got to get a small car. So I'm going to go and pick up him a Tesla to him to drive. I just, I think that would probably be the safest thing out there for, pretty good, especially living here in New York. You can't park a big pickup truck in the city unless you want to pay $150 to park for 2 hours. So anyway, breaking news. So I'm going to pick one up today. So when you see those numbers come out, I'll be part of it. That stock right there. Yes. And that's really the news too. They expected to launch an artificial intelligence training driverless taxi service in a few days. June is actually the big day on that. That is really, really, really big news. So I would keep a very close eye on how that's going to work out. It's going to be all over the news. And once that happens, stock's probably going to do well. But anyway, regarding about the overall trade on it, what we want to see is it hover here. The more it consolidates, the better it is. And and I know a lot of us own the stock somewhere around here, around the 240 price range. I'm just still pissed off. I just don't understand why TSLL has not made that run up to about $20 because that's where the stock should be trading right here. All right. So, but anyway, a lot of consolidation, exactly what we want. All right. So hopefully we'll get that pop when that news comes out. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen, fellow traders? Remember, NVIDIA, we watch all these stocks too. They have a lot to do with AI and NVIDIA, big resistance at that 140. For some of you here looking at Bitcoin, it's kind of flat right here. You could always check out IBIT, but a lot of support levels right around resistance levels. Well, it's hovering right around that 60. So more holds there, the better it is. All right, let's get ready for the market open up, everyone. If you're watching on social media, if you want to join us today, there is that link right there, that QR code. Just scan that QR code with your phone. Come and join us. We're here all day in the trading floor for the next, been here for 35 years. And I'll be here till the day I die. I love being with you guys. So it's always nice to get new traders in the room. So if you want to know a little bit more about how to day trade, swing trade, options trade, access some of the biggest gurus in the industry, there's your link. Guys, if I don't see you, if I don't see you in the cyber group room, you're going to have Josh and Rich in there. I will meet the rest of you in class in the next 15 minutes. All right, guys? So, and don't forget, today we have Benzinga that's coming on. And if you have any questions, please email me. I know a lot of you here use the platform. Give me a heads up, before I go in there. And the first ones that email me, the first ones that I get those questions out there. All right, guys, good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.